Good morning and welcome back to my Saskatchewan garden. Well, I am in the middle of getting some apples dealt with that we were basically given for free if we went to pick them off the tree, and there's probably 300 pounds on that tree. So there's a lot of work to do. I'll catch you up on a few things once I get started. Figured before I get started with the whole day in the kitchen, I would just show you what happened yesterday. We had to bury old Mum. It was time. I mean, at 20 years old and had, pretty much no more function left. She was hanging on by a thread. It was time. So, rest in peace, old Mum. Gonna miss you. She's buried under the maple tree in front of the house here. She used to like laying right there on the step in the sun in the mornings. She would soak up the sun wherever she could find it. Gonna miss you, girl. Big time. But we have Hugs rolling around for attention. Hey, sweetie, we still have Hugs, and we have Smooshy wherever the heck he happens to be right now. Hey, girl? Yeah, you're a good girl. And we have our little Spicy inside. Anyhow, I'm back in the house. Going to get started. I'll wash up some jars shortly here. I want to get started on a batch of cider. I was finding yesterday that I didn't do it with the cider. I did it with the jelly mixture that ended up mixed in with the cider anyway. I made some beautiful apple puree from the strainings from both of them. And I thought, well, why not kill two birds with one stone? I want more cider anyway. I will make more applesauce this way. If you see that, that's the apple puree I got out of it. I just have to season it and spice it how I want. It's almost of apple butter consistency, I think. I may even use it for that and just put it in the slow cooker to warm up and spice it up really nicely. Let me grab a spoon. There we go. Let me see. Oh, that's super smooth. A little bit more and I think it would be apple butter. I'm thinking I can get double duty out of my jelly and cider straining. And then whatever is left from that can go to the pigs. The pigs got a nice little bonus today from yesterday's work. That's very smooth stuff. Just needs some sweetening because these are crab apples. Speaking of which, that tree is huge. It has a massive harvest. We still have to go get the last, I don't know what, off of it. Probably 100 pounds or more. I was thinking when somebody put it in my direction that they were just the little ones because they said, oh, they're too small for me to process. Well, these are plenty big. And they are really nice apples. Oh, you guys, if you've never smelled that, that is amazing. Apples cooking on the stove with sugar and spices in there. Oh man, that is so good. Like I said, I'm going to get double or triple duty out of this. I'm going to at least do cider and applesauce out of this. Maybe some of the apple butter at the same time. I may even make a spiced apple jelly out of some of this instead of having to make a separate batch, because it just makes sense to use what you're working on right at the moment. And I already have the jars done for the jelly. I just didn't do jelly yesterday because it didn't amount to a whole bunch the way I ended up straining it out. Lesson learned. I tried to do too much in one day. And I am using the old Gems style jars, at least for the cider, and I don't know about, I think I'm going to do pints for my applesauce because I will have enough pint jars to do that. I still have these old glass lids. Actually, I bought, I don't know, well over 100 of them a couple of years ago from a guy that was getting rid of them. And he had rings he threw in on the deal. I got them for the whopping amount of 25 cents per lid. You can't complain about that. Now, I will tell you something about these that I learned by mistake. These old rings are what you're going to need if you use the glass lids, because the newer ones that work with the metal, my phone won't focus on that. There we go. The newer ones are shallower and they will not lock down on top of the glass lids. So use your beware on that. If you want to use the old glass lids and the rubber gaskets, you will need the deeper rings for that. They're still around and most of them lasted quite a while. I have some of the really old zinc style, not just the aluminum. Now everybody, I'm straining off my stuff here. Sorry if my arm gets in the way, that's the side that camera has to be on. But I think I've discovered a good way of doing it. First, I'm scooping it out into a larger cup here. There's about 3 of these in there. Then I'm pouring it into a very coarse colander here and into a large bucket. It's one of our wine buckets, fermenters. And I'm taking my spoon, mashing this through. Now you might think, well, why? Because I want to get the pulp out, but not the skins and seeds. The skins and seeds will pretty much stay in here. And it goes in the pan, because that is the scrap. The pigs will get that. Sorry if that shakes that camera some. Okay, as you can see, I have filtered some of it through the second screen here. Picked up a nice fine strainer yesterday that I needed. And I'll just show you how it goes with that. It's quite a bit. This pot's nearly too full to do anymore. I've got the second one there, and I don't think that's even going to hold it. I'll have to get my other one washed. It's holding quite a bit of that pulp. Now, that would be just fine that way as applesauce. Just kind of swirl it around. I'm going to have to pick this up, though. Let that drain. Get this thing out of the way. And it's a nice applesauce consistency there. Or I can cook it down further and make my apple butter. Just about right. Okay. So that's your, oh yeah, I got a few seeds to pick out. They did get through that big strainer. And here is the applesauce, or apple butter if it's cooked down quite a bit more. As applesauce, I just add a little more sugar to it, I think, and that's about it. It's a smaller bowl, and that's what I got out of there this time. I think about a half gallon or a bit more of scrap for the pigs, whereas yesterday this thing ended up half full of scrap that I could have salvaged more stuff out of. I just was not there. Well, it would appear I'm going to have to strain 3 stages, kind of, well, 2 stages simultaneously. This is stage 3. I'm going to strain through this jelly bag, but I cut it open just so it can cover a strainer, and we'll see how that goes. Well, you can see that seems to be working really nicely. It's collecting that super fine pulp as it should. So what I will do is come back to you when I have all of this processed through. Well, there's the remaining pulp. I think what I will do is fridge that for the night, and tomorrow I will run that through a sieve to get rid of all the rest of the seeds. because once you press it through a sieve, what comes out the other side is this perfect pulp. And then that way I can use that for applesauce and apple butter. Here are my 2 big pots of cider just reheating here while I wait. So that they're both large, like canners. This one I think is like an 18 quart because it's a little smaller than the 21 quart enamel one there. So I think that's about it. Now, so I scooped a bit out to throw in the fridge that I will save and make jelly out of probably either tomorrow afternoon or maybe Monday. Well, it's the next morning. I've checked all my jars and all of them have sealed except one, which will go in the fridge later. I have 3 other ones that I didn't process that are in the fridge as well. So I have 26 going downstairs and plus 4 that will be in the fridge. Not bad. So I will continue cleaning these up and labeling them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.